Welcome back. Certainly glad you could join us today.
Hey guys, it's Emma. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. Today's video, as you can tell, is a little bit different than my usual videos. I'm sitting on the floor. I got some cool mood lighting. There's a lot of stressful things happening in the world right now. I know I'm feeling pretty stressed, and I'm sure you guys are too. Tonight, I'm just trying to relax and de-stress and unwind, and one of my favorite ways to do that is painting. So for today's video, I thought I could do a paint with me, kind of a relaxing paint session. I'm not creative nor artistic, so welcome my special guest, Bob Ross. So yes, I'm going to be following a Bob Ross tutorial. Feel free to follow along with me and kind of paint along with me if you're down for some painting, or just watch, do whatever you want. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and let's get started. For this painting, I'm going to be using a 9 by 12 inch canvas. Not as big as Bob's, but it's okay. You can basically use any canvas size that you want. I have a variety of different cheap paintbrushes. Again, you can just find packs of paintbrushes at Michael's. I have some palettes. I'm not really sure if you're supposed to wash these once you're done with them. You probably are, but I personally just like all the colors and like the texture of all the paints on it, but it can make it hard to see which color you're actually using, so I'm going to use the less messy one today. A glass of water to clean our brush and some paper towels to soak up the excess water. For this painting, I'm going to be breaking open a brand new set of paints. These are the Arteza paints, and I just have a set of 24 colors. I'm going to be following along with his Island in the Wilderness painting, which is season 29, episode 1.
Get your brushes and your paints and paint along with us each show.
So Bob Ross paints with oil paints and a wet on wet technique using liquid white, which basically just helps to blend the paints. I'm using acrylic paints, so I just use this cheap bottle of Craft Smart white paint to substitute for the liquid white, and I painted a thin layer on the canvas. So next I'm painting the sky, and I'm using kind of messy crisscross strokes, and it doesn't really matter if it doesn't look super neat right now because I'm going to blend it later. Creating the water, I made kind of a happy little accident, as Bob says, but then I basically just dragged the paint from each like outside corner into the center, so it kind of created the appearance of a glare on the water. Then I cleaned my brush so I could blend it together. Then I darkened up the sky a little bit, and it created this cool purpley color in between the blue and the pink. And using whatever was left on my brush, I just kind of stippled the canvas to create the appearance of clouds. And then we're creating sort of like a tree line in the distance. To blend that out, I'm just dragging my brush down and then across. Using a fan brush, I'm creating another tree line, but this one's a little bit closer, so just stippling the brush on the canvas, I'm creating little vertical lines that are trees. And then, just like Bob is doing, I'm going to drag my brush downwards and across to create reflections of the trees in the water. So not really sure what this is supposed to be, but I'm just doing it because Bob did it. But using my fan brush and a really tiny amount of white paint, I'm just kind of dotting little lines under the trees. Now I'm creating a group of bigger trees, and I'm using the corner of my fan brush to go in sort of like a Z motion downwards on the tree, so it sort of tapers out like an evergreen. To make the reflections of the trees, I'm basically making the trees again, but upside down and blending it out again. To give the trees and the island below the trees detail, I'm using a lighter green color and dabbing it on with my fan brush. So here Bob is using a palette knife, but I'm just using a thin little paintbrush to create a waterline. So now we're making another tree because Bob Ross loves his trees, and this one's an even bigger one on the other side, and I'm just using the brush I started out with. It's like a flat, thicker brush, and then I went in with my fan brush to add more detail and then dragged it down to create sort of an island underneath the tree. And surprise, surprise, another huge tree. Now I started doing my own thing, so I just used my fan brush to create little yellow flowers and just more detail. And then Bob created some rocks and a little path, so I did the same thing. For the final touches, I just went back over my sky and made it a little bit more vibrant and added some more clouds, and that's about it. So I'm no Bob Ross, but this is my final painting. Obviously it's not perfect. Some little happy accidents were made. And the rest of this outro is nowhere to be found. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see y'all next time. Love you. Bye.